Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the inaugural episode 1 of season 2 of yours truly, Beezy Off Script. Yes, your new favorite podcast where your takes is coming to you hot off the press and hot off of my mind. I got my co-host with me tonight, Big Bro BJR in the building. What a dooski. Hey.
What's good, man? And then just
Man.
doing a couple rough drafts, man, on the obituary, man, for the Ravens, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Please.
It's, it's been
In
crazy.
loving
It's been
memory
crazy.
of John Harbaugh's tenure with the Baltimore
Not a good day.
Ravens. You know what I'm saying? What's up, man? The shakeup. So, are you guys buying into the fact that this man's not the man for this team anymore, Ravens flock? Because I remember being crucified by Ravens flock several years ago when
You have been on this for a while,
I
I would say.
offered up the idea that perhaps we move on from this guy, and people told me, "Oh no, he's a Hall of Fame coach. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's Harbaugh will get a job in 10 minutes if he's fired from the Ravens." Really? Who the fuck is hiring that clown if he gets fired tomorrow? Who? What franchise? What franchise? And then don't do me the Titans would do it over Cam Moore's dead body. You don't want that clown.
Why is it that John Harbaugh is a bad coach? What is it about his?
I think what
What?
you're seeing
Tell me
now.
what.
I
Give
think
me
what
give
you're
me the football.
I think what you're seeing now, BJ, in the NFL. Who are some of the best coaches in the league right now?
My guy from Philly
Sirianni,
is he a good coach?
debatable.
People like that. People like Dan Campbell in Detroit. They like his
Okay,
rah rah.
okay. Leader of men.
Andy Reid,
Yeah,
Andy
absolutely.
Reid,
Offensive genius.
Mike Tomlin,
Leader of men.
Sean Payton.
Offensive genius.
Uh, I think I see where you're going with this.
You see where
If
I'm
I
going with
say John
this?
Harbaugh,
Kyle Shanahan,
special
offensive
teams,
genius. Sean McVay,
special
offensive
special
genius.
teams, special
Right?
teams genius. He's the only
Well,
special teams coordinator to ever win a Super Bowl,
okay. Well, he's the only special teams coordinator
man.
to coach the defense that Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, and that's just three of the 11 players.
Is John Harbaugh Steve Kerr?
I would say he's not even, but I see where you're going.
Like inherited the team.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't know, man. I think that the writing's been on the wall for a long time. I think a new change of scenery is always good for people.
Let
I
me
don't
take
know. I
you.
think John Harbaugh could be a good coach somewhere else. I think he
let-
would get a job.
I,
He'd
I
get
don't.
a job.
I don't think that. Here's my notion of John Harbaugh being a good coach somewhere else. At the stage of his life that he's in right now, considering what team he's coaching right now, so he would be coming from. You used to coach Lamar Jackson, Baltimore, right? That's his resume. I
Hmm.
don't know what team he goes to right now and turns them in to a contender team that isn't already a contender. So they wouldn't need John Harbaugh.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, where's
Right.
the team? That's why I threw the Titans out there. It's going to be some bottom feeder team that's begging for a spark in the coaching department or in the playmaker department, right? The Titans would go and fire
Right.
their coach and bring in Harbaugh. Okay, great. So Harbaugh goes and coaches the Tennessee Titans. Is he going to change the culture in Tennessee and turn them into a Super Bowl contender over the Chiefs, which should still be in the AFC, over the Bills, who are still going to be in the AFC? Whoever comes in and takes his job in Baltimore while they're still in the AFC, you got the Colts that have figured it out in your own division if you go to the Titans, right? So where's that team? Oh, he goes and takes Zach
Yeah.
Taylor's job in Cincinnati. So he's going to be the one that turns around Cincinnati's losing culture. John Harbaugh, annual Mr. Oops, we couldn't figure it out. Annual, we got to try harder is going to get Cincinnati over the mound.
Yeah,
Like
it's
where's
crazy.
the team? Insert the team. People were saying the Cowboys. So Jerry Jones is going to bring him to Dallas so he can smack him around all day. I don't even think Harbaugh would want that job because he likes an owner like Steve Bisciotti, who only
Hmm.
sees twice a year. You know what I mean? You don't worry about him running around the building having press conferences and stuff like that. So I don't even know he'd want to work for Jerry Jones, but I don't see him going to Dallas and turning them around. You know what I'm saying? So where is that
Hmm.
team? I just don't see it. Now, if you told me he went from being a head coach to going back to a coordinator and went and took a special teams coordinator job somewhere. Oh, I could see one of his buddies. I could see Philly letting him back in the door. And he goes to the Eagles as a coordinator again. I could see his brother out in L.A. letting him in the door, and he
Yeah.
gonna be a coordinator somewhere. He can be a member of a coaching staff, and I think be effective. But as far as leading
Yeah.
a coaching staff and a group of men, a roster, I think those days are far behind him.
I got
As
a
far
stat
as
for
far as
you. You
as
ready?
far as being good at it.
I got a stat for you before today or yesterday rather.
Hmm.
116 total losses by John Harbaugh.
Hmm.
24 of them, which is 20%, are all in which was a complete fourth quarter
Collapse
collapse. So in other words, you got 20% of your losses have taken place in
in
the
games that
fourth
you should
quarter, and I
in
think
games that you
that
should have won.
games that you should have won, games that you should have won, and I think that that's really remarkably high, especially when you talk about that. What's up with the identity for the Ravens? Like, do you think that if John Harbaugh ends up sort of, moving on, is there a coach out there that you think helps get the identity back for the Ravens? Like, what do you think about that? Because clearly the defense is not,
Yeah.
you know, not defensing the way we used to.
I,
What do you
well,
think? What do you see?
specifically with that idea that hey, we got to go with getting back to our roots, getting back to our identity as Baltimore Ravens, not being the get right game on people's schedule. The C.J. Stroud go back to his Ohio State Buckeye, era with the way like this is this is what is this? So I think every candidate you bring in, if you're Steve Bisciotti and you're serious about moving this team that you currently have forward, has to be a defensive guy. A guy that predicates his football IQ, if you will, on the defensive side of the ball. And I think if you were to do that, personally, me, I would start with Brian Flores. I would spend a lot of time interviewing that man, getting to know him, and his ideologies and schemes and stuff like that, and what he felt like he could do with what we currently have in Baltimore, and where he saw the vision for us to improve, and what his ideas were for that. I think he would be a slam dunk hire. Um, Not only that, but I feel like he didn't get a fair shot in Miami. With the Dolphins. I think he kind of got rooted out of there. There were the reports that they were an organization that tanks and all this other stuff, and he ain't built. He's a no bullshit. Like I'm trying to win, like I'm not tanking. like you know what I'm saying. So I don't think he got a fair shot in Miami. He wouldn't have to worry about no tanking here because as long as Lamar Jackson was the quarterback, that's not something that we're in the department of here in Baltimore.
Health. I got more health questions, I would say, but is Lamar Jackson a Raven 3 years from now?
Tough. I would say that it's possible that he's not now, and I would say that that's something that I was afraid of in the past, happening with him. I think that there is a level of frustration that he might bear with the organization and the way that they've gone about things. You got to remember, bro, this is
I
the
almost saw, man. Yeah.
this is the team that we had players within our let's just say we have personnel within our organization. All right. I don't know if it came out officially that it was a player, but it was definitely somebody that works for the Baltimore Ravens that did this, that left fire Greg Roman papers on the campus.
Mm.
grounds when we wouldn't get rid of the Greg Roman or offensive coordinator campaign. Mind you, this was during the national media's widespread coverage of this Ravens offense sucks. Kurt Warner,
Right.
it sucks. Steve Young, it sucks. You name it, I can go down the list. They're all there. It's terrible.
And
And
somebody was letting it whisper.
Harbaugh's in the building with it every day, and he just could see. That's the thing. These guys, they get on their fucking high horse of we don't listen to the pundits, we don't listen to the
Yeah.
media. They don't know what the fuck. Do
They're
we
not
not know
my
what? Do
macaroon,
we
right?
not
They're
know
not
what
my
we're talking
macaroon.
about, John? And I'm not a member of the media, but do they not know what they're talking about, John? Or are you, or have you severely underperformed with this roster over the last 5 years? Which one is it? Because I know that there are coaches that would have had a Super Bowl for this team by now. You
Mm.
understand this?
Name them. Name
Sean
them.
McVay's exist. Sean Payton, I believe, could have gotten a ring with this offense, with this type of quarterback. Look how he turned out the
Andy
Broncos,
Reid.
turned around the Broncos with a rookie in 2 years.
Mm.
Andy Reid, Sean McVay. Let's start with those two. Now, those are offensive guys. I feel like our biggest hole the last couple of years has been the fact that our defense has become a joke.
That's why you like the Brian Flores
I love the Brian
name up
Flores because
Alabama.
if nothing else, we've got to get back to you're not coming into the bank and running and throwing for 5 touchdowns, bro. Tua Tagovailoa's best game as a ball, or as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. Do you know what football team he was playing against that night when
It
he
was
threw six
Baltimore, yeah.
touchdown passes? BJ, he was playing against the Baltimore Ravens under John Harbaugh's tenure. Okay, and everybody that wants to fire Zach Orr, no, that was Mike McDonald's defense that got torched by Tua Tagovailoa. So
Yeah.
guess what? The common denominator ain't the defensive coordinator; it's the head coach employing them. Then we can take it a step further and go to the general manager that's supposed to supply. What do they say? The coach with the groceries.
Mm.
Well,
So he got a new
You've
GM
been
coming
shopping
too.
at food. You've been shopping at Food Less. You need to go to Sprouts. You need to go to Barron's Market. You need to go to one of these farmers market grocery stores and get real groceries because this processed as non uh
What? Walmart
G,
broccoli,
bro. These are not groceries. You're not cooking a 5 course cuisine meal with these groceries.
hamburger helper, and all
Daniel Falele
that.
should not be blocking for your premier elite transcendent quarterback for a 17 game
So,
season and you just keep telling everybody he's going to get better. When is he going to get better?
all right. So you're in the room, Brian. You're in the room with Steve. You had lunch with him. Steve tells you, he says, "All right, Brian, I feel you, but I can't do the coach and the GM at the same time. I got to do one. Where are you going first? Is it a new coach happening now, and we're going to keep the same draft process, or do we have a new GM
So
and you
so
think John Harbaugh could coach better guys?"
okay, so first of all, if Steve Bisciotti said that to me, I would look at him and say, first of all, you're being a pussy because if you can get rid of one, you can get rid of the other one, and you can start this thing over. That's number one. Number two, if you don't want to get rid of both, fine, get rid of the head coach now. Bring somebody or have someone that's on the staff right now currently.
And week 5,
Chuck Pagano's there. You don't think Pagano? Chuck Pagano has battled cancer. He's worked for Jim Irsay's old coked out self in Indianapolis. He can handle adversity. You interim head coach Chuck Pagano, and you'll see with the same drafted pieces, the same personnel, what can this coach do? How can changing the coach affect this team? You'll get a chance to see it. Interim and nothing else. Interim. You'll
mm-hmm.
get a chance to see it right now. That's why I would
But
advise. I
long
say,
term, you still got to finance.
well, here's what I'd say. You see, you like the results, then perhaps you keep Eric and you tell Eric keep pumping in these, keep pumping in the picks or whatnot. Try to get better scouts or whatever, so we don't miss on as many draft picks. But okay, now if the product still looks like garbage, then you know it's
Yeah.
not solely coaching, right? Which that's my ballpark. I don't believe it's just coaching. I too personally believe that it's also personnel, right? And I feel like because Harbs and
Yeah,
Eric,
where are the players at?
Harbs and Eric have this buddy, they're neighbors. You know, they probably mow each other's lawn. They have this buddy ass relationship, and that's fine for them. I love that for them. You know, I'm
Who's
not being a
nice?
hater.
Who's nice
That
on
their
the
thing.
Ravens? Who's nice? I'm talking about defensively. Who's nice on the Ravens defense like that? I thought you liked Hamilton. He's got his money.
I do like Hamilton, but
Everybody like.
again,
I thought
Kyle
y'all got
Hamilton.
Humphreys in there, man.
No, no, no,
No,
no. You're
my
not
boy
gonna. You're
Podcast
not gonna.
tweeted
You're
on
not
that.
gonna. You're not gonna. You're not gonna Ravens PR me, B. I watch the games. I watch it all. And no, you're not Ravens PR me. Not even a little bit. Okay, that's one thing the
my
Ravens
boy,
love to do. We love to let our PR team tell you how good a player is.
my boy Marlon Humphreys be dressed like most Def on this podcast trying to talk about the
We
Seahawks.
love to let Ryan. We love to let Ryan Mink and Jamison Hensley tell you how good a fucking NFL player is. No, the league says you're fucking trash. Amon Ross St.
Hmm,
Brown came into your trap and told you, I run this shit, nigga. That's what he said to you.
doing it.
He said that to you.
Yeah, the
Okay?
defense looks crazy,
So
man.
I
I
don't
mean,
care
it's
what Ryan Mink said in the offseason and said that we had the best secondary and y'all got turnovers written on the locker rooms. Where are they?
that's a
Where
fact.
are the fucking turnovers?
That's a fact.
And, and
But
again,
that's what I'm saying. You
you talk about a Ravens defense. B, that is what we used to predicate ourselves on. We gonna get that ball
so
back.
if you get a new so if we get a new coach, but Eric is still picking guys and doesn't beef up a secondary, or in my opinion, I even think that like when I think about Ravens like all time, like it's always been a big pass rush type of deal. It's always been some trench work. And I think
Yeah.
we were talking earlier. You were mentioning the fact that like there's no dogs like on the team,
No
and like
dogs, bro.
where's that?
Where are the dogs? Where is your Bart Scott? Where's your Terrell Suggs? Where's your Ray Lewis? Okay, you're not gonna get a future Hall of Famer every time. Okay, fine. Where is your Paul Kruger? Where? I mean, like where? Where's your Jimmy Smith?
It's got to be a guy.
Where are they at? You got all these fucking, and that's what it is. You got all these preppy, good student ass football players. These 4.0 ass
Right.
niggas. Great. But you don't have no dog in you, Kyle. You're just a great player. And that's just the truth. People want to call him a young crash out. Why? Because he gets late hit penalties? No. I need a dog. A Troy
Right.
Polamalu. Get ball. See
I slow
ball.
the
Get
game down.
ball. Where?
The game.
Where's the
Yeah. Yeah.
bro?
Yeah.
Where? Then they lied to us, told us Malachi Starks was that guy. Seems to be like he was the product of playing with that good ass defensive line he was playing with at Georgia now, don't it? Because
Yeah.
you don't got Jalen Carter in front of you in purple, bro. Where's Jordan Davis? Where's Guantanamo Bay?
Right.
Right?
So then you feel like I said, new coach. You like Flores. If not
I
him,
love
somebody else.
Flores.
It's definitely got to be a defensive coach. You feel
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I don't need
I
no
like
Rex
that. I like
Ryan. I don't need no, I don't need no,
that. Hey, I'm cool on Rex Ryan,
No,
bro. Yeah, he was balling.
I'm cool on Rex too because low key he been on he been on the run since he been back on the TV. Like he low key he's starting to be on hater watch, man. Like yeah, he always talking reckless, man. Like he always I don't know. I don't know. I got respect for him for what he did for the Ravens back in the day as a coordinator and everything like that. But I just feel like I know if we moved on from Harbaugh today, I know there's going to be a portion of the Ravens flock that's like Rex Ryan, because we talk about defense and how we need to bring that back, but to the fold. But I think we
Nah,
need a
I'm cool.
modern
I'm
day. We need
cool.
a modern day where we
A younger fixture,
here's where
I'll
we
say,
messed
yeah.
up. Here's where we messed up. You want to know where we messed up? You paid attention to the Seahawks lately?
Uh,
Playing some good football out there in Seattle, aren't they?
they look good.
Look disciplined, don't they? Look physical. Look fast, explosive. Look like they study a little bit before the games, don't they? Yeah, that was Mike McDonald. We
They
let him
had to
walk
move
out.
on.
We walked out of the building.
Yeah,
We let him walk out of the building. We had the successor right there. He was gonna keep the defense right for Lamar. He was gonna have them boys head hunting, getting him extra possessions, and we let him walk to Seattle
yeah,
because we didn't want to move on from Lord Harbaugh. We could have pulled a
yeah. I do
Boston.
think
We could have pulled a
yeah,
Boston. We could have pulled a Boston Celtics. B promoted him
yeah.
upstairs. Brad Stevenson. We could we we
That
we
could have
could
been
have we
cool.
could have made listen. We could have made
That
it
could have been
political.
cool.
We could have made it political. Hey, we're not gonna fire you. You got a new job now upstairs.
But we're gonna get somebody else in
We're gonna
line.
bring in this young cat. He's got the innovative mind. He's got the tenacity. We're gonna get him up in here and keep this thing rolling. We'll send you upstairs. You can help Eric out in the spring.
Yeah. Hmm.
We could have did that. But now we've gotten to the point now, BJ, where we literally have no choice. If you're Steve Bisciotti,
Yeah.
after what you witnessed today and what you have witnessed the last month of football, you are at a point where your hands are tied, bro. They are tied
So no
because
chance.
you can't tell
No
you
chance of
no.
the playoff.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
So we're gonna
Like I
take the
was telling you
Lamar
earlier, with the extra regular season game and adding in the extra playoff team, the fact that we are still undefeated in our division with 5 games left to go in that division, in said division, and I don't see a clear favorite in our division right now. I just don't. Even with the Steelers, I just don't,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it sucks that we have become that division where a 9-7 team might sneak into the playoff. You know what I mean? Get the 4 seed or whatever. But yeah, we definitely still have a shot at the playoffs. If we can get healthy relatively and make some changes, some tough changes, some tough calls, some tough decisions, maybe even make a couple people mad, whatever. But if we can,
Yeah.
absolutely. The opportunities are definitely there, bro. You got Chuck Pagano
Yeah. I
on
don't
that
know, man.
staff right now. He is definitely qualified to come in as an interim head coach and right this ship for 11 games or 12 games left in the season. Having the resume and track record that he has, I'm very surprised that he's not the head coach now. Take away the Super Bowl, what has John accomplished that stands over Chuck?
Hmm. I mean, they're gonna put that Super Bowl out there.
Well, that's what I'm
That's
saying,
it's,
Super
it's
Bowl
a
side.
big
But then
deal.
when you take into the account how
But
much Chuck Pagano's presence was felt when the Ravens used to have those historic defenses, right?
yeah,
Him running the secondary, and I believe he even got a coordinator a shot over there in the city of Charm. So, what are you waiting on, Bishotti? I mean, your fans are literally leaving the stadium in the third quarter and booing your head
bro,
coach
it
right
was
now.
so
So,
embarrassing,
what
bro.
are
We was at the
you
game. It was
prepared to do?
embarrassing. I never seen that stadium. I never seen a stadium empty so quickly in my life.
It
It was
is.
like it
It
was like a
is
bomb threat, bro. It was
the.
crazy.
It is the
Like,
first Sunday.
it was out.
It is the first Sunday in October,
Good day of
and
football, man. 80
your
degrees out there.
football fans are 75 degrees, beautiful day.
Tickets ready to
Your
be
fans
$15.
are leaving in the third quarter, and the ones that are staying to boo your head coach at the end of the game. It's October the 5th. What are you prepared to
Crazy.
do?
Do you think that fans should stay? Like even if the game is a blowout? Like what's your thought about like leaving the game versus like
I said this on I put the tweet out earlier because I saw the video of John walking off the field and he was getting boos and boo boo boo. I said it needs to be louder next week. I challenge every Ravens fan that pays their money to go see the Rams come and clean us up next week. Stay. Don't leave. Stay. And when that team comes off
well
the
record
field,
booze?
they need to hear that shit and FedEx Field.
Word.
And
That he feel like some action like that, you feel like, all right, come on, John.
I mean,
We're gonna have to do
we're
something.
going into the bye week. So if there was ever a time, Bashadi, get off your ass, man, and save your asset. It's your business, dude. It's your product. right? At the end of the day, you own this team.
They need to get some contractors to finish that damn party spot. Their stadium's not even finished. I think it's a play, bro. They trying to man. Well, we ain't got no time to be winning no playoff games. They can't even fit people in there. Cause we was outside trying to get to a great day. You know what I mean? October, all that breast cancer awareness month, the whole vibe. They just ruined the whole finish.
Telling
Ruined
you
the
right
whole
now,
vibes, bro.
telling you right now, dog. That man, Steve Bisciotti, and John Harbaugh sat next to each other and had an interview before the season. Steve Bisciotti said, "I want to win now. Tired of getting close. I want to win. I'm trying to get a championship." Okay. Not so long after that interview, John Harbaugh sits alongside his own self and Ryan Mink in a separate interview and talks down the notion that his team is in a Super Bowl window. Says something along the lines of, everyone keeps bringing up Super Bowl or bust, and I just don't buy into that. I just don't buy into that. I'm sorry. Well, your boss does. So I need you to buy into what your boss is purchasing. You have to. You actually have to do that. That's what an employee does. An employee takes the boss's, okay, what do they call them? Core values, right? Mission statements, right? And then embodies that in their performance. That's what a good employee is supposed to do. So when you have a boss that says he wants to win now, the last thing you need to be saying is, "I don't buy into the Super Bowl or bust window." That's the last thing that you need to fucking say. And when when he said that, BJ, I started losing faith at that moment because I didn't understand how he could be that, like, I don't want to say stupid, but stupid. How, on paper, I'd have to say we are on paper because on paper we were supposed to have the best secondary ever, and and on paper we still have a two-time MVP quarterback. They only have one, and it really should be a three-time MVP to zero. We all know Lamar got robbed last year. So I would say on paper we still have. Here's what I'm really trying to tell you. Where are their dogs? Where's Buffalo's dogs? I mean, sure, but I still would raise them in LJ because I
I got Lamar Jackson. Like, this is a critical time in his career. Like, I don't think that his future is that solidly guaranteed here because, man, you talk about playing this brand of football. It hasn't even gotten cold outside yet,
right.
and you're talking about not having that identity on defense. In other words, not having a defense that's going to sort of speak like make the quarterback's job easier. I
Yeah.
don't know if Lamar even wants to stick around and be here because like if that identity's gone, if a new coach is all of a sudden gonna now you gonna tell me I gotta deal with a new voice, and if I don't get to choose that nigga, I'm in Miami, bro.
With Mike
It's a
McDaniel,
vacancy. Oh, whoever
what's your? That's what I'm saying. But because you're gonna be going into a situation there
the
where
weather warm, I can get the
you're gonna be
weather's
going
warm. I
into
can
a
get into it.
situation
I'm not
there
worried about
where
doing all that.
you're gonna be in a situation there where either you have to deal with them keeping the coach they have, which going to Mike McDonald versus having a new coach in Baltimore, I don't know if I would do that. And then, okay, even if they do fire Mike McDaniel, they're not going to give you an incoming player say in who the coach is, so you still would be going into a blind situation. And like I said, this is an organization in the past that's been known for wanting to tank. So I don't know if you want to
Mm.
align yourself with that if you're Lamar. Um, I would say
So I gotta
NFC.
ride it out.
If there's a team that's a threat to sign Lamar, or to end up with Lamar rather, if he doesn't stay with the Ravens or anything like that, I would say it's an NFC team.
Mm.
hmm Maybe the Rams, since Stafford's probably only got 1 year left.
Right.
Sean McVay with
Okay.
Lamar would be fundamentally unfair.
NO would be crazy. New Orleans,
Saints would be
like they're
crazy.
nasty out there. And Saints
Him
will
and
go for
AK
it.
40, AK
Hey man, I'm
41.
not trying to say it. Look, we're not trying to talk. We're not trying to. For anybody watching this, we're not trying to predict the future in that negative way. We obviously want Lamar Jackson
No,
to stay at Raven for life,
absolutely.
but we understand the business of this thing. We know them cats, man. We know how a lot of that stuff works. And yeah, man, if you just try to put it in perspective, man, and try to think about it, like if you had to make a choice, you got coach, GM, quarterback. Who's got who's you know what I mean? Start bench cut type vibes
Yeah.
out of those three. Lamar's, in other words, security probably locked in. He's making the most
I'm
money.
starting Lamar.
So I'm
I
starting
just feel
Lamar.
like I just feel like this is a, you got to start with, what
The
so
talent, you can't. Yeah.
here's how I look at it. You got you said quarterback, coach, GM. So we're going
Mm,
Lamar, Harbaugh, Eric DeCosta. Okay. Which one of the three, or how many of the three, I guess you should say, are top three in their respective profession? So
mm,
Lamar, a top three quarterback, Harbaugh, a top three head coach, Eric DeCosta, a top three GM. See what I'm saying?
mm.
Lamar is definitely a top three quarterback. I'm not debating that with
I'm
anybody.
gonna go top. I'm gonna go top five this year. Right now, we
No,
looking
no,
at
no.
top five.
I'm gonna go to top three right now. Top three quarterback in the NFL right now, Lamar Jackson. John Harbaugh's not a top three head coach. He's not. Eric DeCosta's not a top three general manager. He's not.
So big switch.
So I'm starting with Lamar. I'm starting Lamar. Eric DeCosta has not been a general manager as long as John Harbaugh has been a head coach. And thus, I would bench Eric, see if he's learned, give him an opportunity to show growth, pause, and then
But
I'm
a new,
cutting
but a new
and
locker room. How we doing in New
I'm
Orleans?
cutting Harbs.
Mm.
I'm cutting Harbs. I want the man gone, bro.
Effective immediately.
I
Vince
want him
McMahon.
gone. I want him gone.
You're you're a fire. Vince McMahon vibes.
I've
I
wanted
feel it.
him gone, BJ. You know it. So at this point, I'm
Yeah, I mean,
just.
look, man, it stinks around here, man. I mean, I know you're in California with it, bro.
There's been
This
so
is
many
what it feels
things
like
to
to be at
me in
home.
the last 5 years alone that have been such
Hmm.
huge indictments on what he's supposed to represent as the leader of men. They're
Hmm.
indictments. The fire Greg Roman papers, that's an indictment. They had no
Yeah, I see
respect
you
for
got
you.
that going
They
on.
had no
Yeah,
respect for
right,
you.
right,
Whoever did that was like, I don't give a fuck what John said. I don't fuck that nigga. That's an indictment,
right.
bro. I mean, it just is. And people won't see it as that because they don't understand, you know what I'm saying? But when you respect a coach, when you fuck with a coach, even if you feel that way, you're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to
Yeah,
do those things. The fact that people are like, I'm going to do that. What about the player that didn't go into the football game last year? Everybody wants to give him bullshit. Deontay Johnson. Remember, he wouldn't.
no, that was a little crazy.
They tried to
Yeah,
sub him in the game. He was like, I ain't going in there.
I ain't going in this
You
game.
don't do that for coaches you respect, bro. You don't do it. You go out there.
Yeah,
You suck it up. You go out there. You suck your teeth, pause on the way out there, whatever. But you're gonna go if you have respect for that man. If you don't have
yeah,
no respect for that nigga, you're gonna treat him like it's you're gonna treat it like it's just a regular. People were saying, oh my god, NFL game, you don't want to go in there. He not looking at it like that because he got a coach that he don't respect.
yeah. I think he's lost a lot of respect too with like different things. I know over the years there's been a lot of like those clock management things and stuff like that that
It's deeper than
attributed to
that. It's the
even
clock
if it wasn't a
management.
loss, yeah,
It's the
even if
actives
it
and
wasn't a loss,
inactives.
it was
Why the
focused
fuck
on
did we
that.
wait 5 weeks to activate Keaton Mitchell? Why? Why?
Yeah,
What gripes do you have with people? Why is Daniel Falele still getting opportunities to get burned?
yeah,
Why? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, to me, it all comes down to the only thing that would make sense, and that's sabotage. They know that if they
mm,
actually did their job, Lamar would shred this fucking league. and they'd have to pay him every fucking penny he deserves. So let's sabotage him.
So it's a
Let's
base. So the play is the play. The play is the play.
BJ.
It's about to get dark around here, man. Crazy,
The Greg
bro.
Roman
We ain't
era,
got no NBA basketball team in
bro.
Baltimore, bro.
The Greg Roman era told me everything I needed to know about whether or not these people will sabotage a brother. Okay,
Mm.
you know what we could have did during the Greg Roman era when we were struggling to be successful. We could have fired that clown. We could have called Eric Bieniemy up.
Mm.
We could have
If
done
it was
that.
about winning, you're saying.
If
You
it
saying
was
if it was
about
about winning.
winning, thank you. We could have done
Mm.
that. He was unemployed with every bit of opportunity to come on this roster with the tools that we had at that time and be effective based off the
Right.
scheme that he puts out, based off the talent that we had. We had that opportunity. Good teams would have done that. But we know people get blackballed out of this league. We know all types of shit. So we're not even gonna go down the Eric Bieniemy way right now. And I know he has his people, his haters that are out there, people that don't believe in him or discredit him, whatever. I think he would have been a great offensive coordinator for this offense, for this quarterback that we have,
Yeah.
for the way that we like to run the ball and be physical at the line of scrimmage in the trenches. I think he would have been an absolutely tremendous offensive coordinator for this team. And I also know that Patrick Mahomes hasn't looked all supernatural since he left Kansas City
Right.
either. So
Mm.
let's keep that in mind
Right.
too. Pat Mahomes has looked very pedestrian. They're
Right. The
just
scheme kind
they're
of
still
worked
winning.
well.
They're still winning because they have a winning culture. Andy Reid's a great
That's
head
Andy
coach,
Reid. Yeah, that's
and
Andy
they
Reid.
can win. But as far as looking superhuman, that was Eric Bieniemy's offense that had him looking
Mm.
superhuman, and Tyreek Hill out there, right?
Facts.
So again, I listen. I I I, I said it.
Yeah.
BJ, I'm so for real, man. I'm so for real. We go to a solo shop because I need this to be heard. Steven, Bashottis, Steve, you know me, man. Listen, I love you, man, because you already know how I get down with the Italians. So I ain't even got no smoke for you. It's no disrespect as far as me and you are concerned. I want the best for you because the best for you means the best for me as a fan, right? I get to go around and talk my stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is my advice to you. It's time for a new era. It has been time, but now we cannot put it off any longer. We can't do it. So these are some of my suggestions. Eric DaCosta is probably a little in over his head as a general manager. That's just me thinking. He probably is. I would give somebody else an opportunity there. I start looking at a guy like Louis Riddick. I think he would get a lot of respect. And that's league wide as well as through the organization and the players. I think that he has a knack. I think he has a knack for understanding talent and what to really evaluate and assess what, exactly what it means to evaluate and assess talent and looking deeper than just combine scores. I think he has a good knack for that. Um, and I feel like he should get a shot as a general manager. I know he's put his name in the hat several times and never got the opportunity. I know he was close this past year with the Jets. I bet the Jets, looking at their 0-5 starter, maybe reconsidering some of the decisions that they made. But that's neither here nor there. I would relieve Eric DeCosta of his duties, and I would start looking at a guy like Louis Riddick to replace him. Then I would go to John Harbaugh. I would relieve him of his duties, as should have been done about 36 months ago. But that's neither here nor there either. I would do it today. I would tell the Vikings, enjoy Brian Flores while you got him, because as soon as your season is over with, I'm putting him on the first jet from Minnesota to Baltimore to have dinner with him and offer him the head coaching and offer him the head coaching job here in Baltimore so we can go back to the foundations of defense. We can go back to the foundations of defense and physicality that Baltimore was built on. Um, and then I would advise him, because I know most head coaches get to pick their own staff, but I would advise him in that interview of giving him the head coach that I would recommend some offensive candidate choices to him, and the first one that I would recommend is Eric Bieniemy. Bring him over here. And these are men that I like for the Ravens because they are of no bullshit culture, and they've all been known for that. B. It's been known. I mean, you can go ask Adrian Peterson about Eric Bieniemy and how no one coached him as hard as Eric Bieniemy in his life of being coached. This is Adrian AP all day. You see what I'm saying? We just talked
Yeah.
about how the Chiefs' offense has not looked nuclear since he's left, right? So I think he would come in and get the most out of these guys on offense and elevate their play. I think he'd be huge for guys like Likely heading into his prime, turn him into the next Kelsey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keaton Mitchell, the backs that we got. I mean, we any back next to Lamar gonna eat anyway. But I think he would turn these guys into dynamic three down back, right? Two threat backs, right? That can receive, rush and receive. Um, and then I think he would continue to help us. We've done solid in the past couple of years, but we've definitely been known or not known for developing wide receivers here in Baltimore. But the last couple of years, through the draft and through developing guys, we have kind of been known as having a solid receiving core and stuff like that. I think he would
Yeah.
continue that as well. And then defensively, like I said, I would make Brian Flores the head coach because I just think overall we need to go back to defense being our DNA.
Calling card, like
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like it
yeah,
don't like Billy. You know what I mean? Like defense is what we're going to do. And you're gonna come to
yeah.
Baltimore, you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna find some points because we're not gonna be giving them up. Like we need to go
The
back to
fourth and
that.
two,
Right.
yeah.
And
Y'all about to go
so
for it on fourth and two and all that.
put
It's
put
crazy.
exactly. So putting him at the head coach, I
Yeah,
feel like would fix that and then he would more than likely get some position coach or something like that he'd bring from Minnesota that knows his scheme and stuff like that he would and trust that being the defensive coordinator. But it'd be much like you noticed with Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan on the offensive side, as they are head coaches. But when you see the offense on the field, you see them talking. They got the clipboard in their hand and stuff like that. They're the one actually orchestrating the idea
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
or the movement rather. So I think it would work a lot like that with Flores if he was named the head coach. I just hope we don't go like, oh, let's go get Mike McCarthy, off the couch. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, nah, I feel
that'll
you
piss
on
me
yeah,
off. That'll piss me off. And the only offensive
yeah.
guy that I would even consider is Bruce Arians, just because he
Mm.
has that mentality. He's still gonna have that
And he's got like that.
tenacity.
Yeah, he's
He's
got
an
that. Yeah,
offensive genius too, but he's got that
he's
no
got a
bullshit
vibrato. Yeah,
pedigree. Yes, exactly.
yeah.
And I think the Ravens,
I feel you on
I feel like our team, our culture, our city needs that type of guy. I just feel like Harb is just not it. Bro. I've never really been a Harb's guy ever. Even when we were doing
that.
all our
Yeah,
winning, whatever, I always felt like he just didn't fit the culture. He kind of
yeah.
was just there, the Raven way, like it just didn't have this. It just, yeah, it didn't stick with me.
Mm.
So,
I feel
um,
it, man.
and
Well, look, in a few
I
months,
would make change.
in a few months, we need to run this first episode back, season two. If some of this stuff goes down, all I'm saying is we gotta get all access into at least training camp or something, so we can see what's
Nah,
cracking.
Steve know what
So
it is
look,
with me, man. Steve's my guy, man. So,
we gotta get in there. But
I
look,
hope he knows that what I say, I say with all of my real thought put into it. I ain't just pulling this. I think these things thoroughly, thoroughly. You get these men in the building and tell them, hey, you tell them, you tell Brian Flores and Eric Bieniemy you want to win a Super Bowl now, and tell me in a month they're gonna look at you and say that they don't believe this is a Super Bowl or bust. Them boys gonna be
right.
dialed in. They gonna be locked in. Boss said he want to get a chip. We gonna push these boys. We gonna get them. We gonna grind them out. We gonna work them. We gonna challenge them, and we gonna
Hold
put
them
the best
accountable. Yeah,
best. Yes, put the best
we gotta
11
hold
on the
some people
field,
accountable.
and we gonna go play football. Period.
I feel that,
Miss
man.
me with the injuries, man. Kyle Shanahan took the replacements to SoFi Stadium on Thursday night and got him a fucking W because he had a group of men that he pushed there to the limits that were bought into his system, that's bought into his scheme, his voice, his vision, and they played their fucking ass off. John Harbaugh got people cutting routes short. It's not the same.
chilling.
It's not the
Yeah,
same. It's not the same, bro. And what I will say, and we'll close it out on this, and this is why I'm so passionate about we need to make the changes here and have needed to make the changes here, is because when you get to the NFL level, the biggest separator of success is coaching.
yeah.
That's the biggest separator of success in the National Football League. It's coaching. These are
Penalties,
all the
turning the
professionals.
ball over.
These are all the best of the best.
Yeah.
So what makes A and B here?
Hmm.
The coaching. Who's putting the chess pieces where? Who's deploying them where and when? That's what makes the difference. And so when you got the team that we've got and our inability to close, to me, that speaks directly to
Yeah,
the coach. Because that
I
tells
agree.
me, or at least my understanding of the National Football League, is there are coaches out there that with the same tools would
Yeah, you're
close.
supposed to have a Super Bowl. You're supposed to have a Super Bowl, at least damn near getting there, and the playoff, you know, blunders as well have been a little bit too much to deal with because all that pressure went on Lamar, and I think that that's also a sign of a coach. Like as a coach, I think you have to be a person that takes all that responsibility. So even in those years previously, where it's always been kind of like they try to treat Lamar like Daniel James Harden, you know what I mean? Where they make it seem like all of a sudden this one player is supposed to be responsible for a team's success. The fact that that's been like kind of put on him from a narrative standpoint, I think, is a reflection of the coach because your coach is the one that's supposed to say, no, 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 it's me. I didn't have guys prepared. You know what I mean? I didn't have things like this.
Yep.
And maybe John has said that. I can't say that he hasn't, but that's not the identity. So I agree. But hey, man, check this out. I think that this is dope, man. That we keep doing this, and I just wanted to let people know, man, as like we paid attention to like different comments and stuff like that. So first of all, we just wanted to thank everybody for just continuing to be engaged in what we got going on. I know
Sure.
we had a little bit of layover, but one of the comments, man, that a lot of people leave is they want to know more about us, man. Like I know, you know, every obviously what I do as far as being a musician and a producer and all that stuff. But a lot of people wanted to know, man, more about you. Like you're on the West Coast, the best coast, getting it in, man. I'm over here in Baltimore. They know we're brothers. They know that this is like the ground up process where we're still working out the kinks with the sports production stuff, man. But a lot of people want to know about Beezy, man. Why don't you tell the world real quick just a little bit more about you, where you coming from, man, so that they can tap in with
For sure, man. Just a sports junkie like the rest of y'all, I'm sure, man. Trying my hand at this independent journalist thing. I noticed that the world is evolving around us, and these podcast formats and stuff like that have given guys like me and my brother here, and a lot of people that might come across this as well to have their own platforms, a voice. And now we can actually be heard. And again, somebody that plays for the Ravens or within the Ravens organization is probably going to come across this. Maybe, maybe not.
you.
But now that's the world we live in now, where 15, 20 years ago, these were words that we just, maybe this barbershop talk, and
Yeah,
if they come into the barbershop or, if we know somebody that cut their hair, they might get wind of how we really feel. But we'd have to spam the email and stuff like that to get our voices heard. We don't have to do that now. Now we can log on to our own platforms in the comfort of our home and let our voices and points of views and hot takes be heard. And so like bro said, some of this stuff end up happening, we're gonna be able to go back to October 5th and say that we predicted it. So that's just
yeah.
kind of one of the benefits of us doing this and stuff like that. And
Can
also,
I ask you something?
yeah.
Would you want to have been like? Would you want to be, or in the past have been a journalist like for a team or anything like that, like a beat writer or something like that in your past
I
life?
don't know if I
Or
would have done. I don't know if I would have do the beat writer. Um, More so than maybe like I'd be like an insider. You
okay,
know what I'm saying? Like a Beezy rap report. You know what I mean? Beezy
Yeah, yeah,
Schefter or
yeah, yeah.
something. You know what I mean? Woj bomb or something.
League
Beezy
Insider.
bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like I'm more
Okay,
with
it
that
works.
because I'm more like I would get, develop relationships with the players, understand them off the court, off the field, as well as on the field, on the court, stuff like that. I'm someone that, like I said, from the insider standpoint, I'm thinking GMs and coaching and stuff like that. I'm not just thinking the box score as a fan. See, I'm one of those fans that BJ, I talk contracts. I mean, we go back to college sports too. I'm talking high school recruits that are in, the eighth grade, right? I'm following these
Yeah, you've
sports. So
understood the business for a
yeah,
while. Yeah,
I'm more of an insider type. And that's something that I would do moving forward too. So if there's any, opportunities for that and anyone that's looking for someone that's really gonna put their, ear to the ground in the realm of wherever I need to be, um,
that's what's up.
let me know because I could definitely Beezy Rappaport this thing for sure.
Season 2, Beezy off script parlays. We're gonna
Yeah.
come up with a whole title. We're gonna do a whole concept. So maybe
Yeah.
next episode, maybe we'll do a skin and
I
everything
ain't gonna
for the
hold you, bro. My
fans.
boy,
All
my
right.
boy, my boy Jackson Dart, man. I had faith in him today. He got me all the way today. We was one
Yeah.
short. We was one short on the parlay today, and it was because I was riding the Jackson Dart. So I was riding the
What
Jackson
do you have
Dart
to do?
wave. So I had them winning. I just thought I just because
Oh,
he's
just
starting
win.
now. I thought they were gonna win, and they ended up losing to the Saints. So, but we clocked everything else. I took some heavy underdogs as I normally do. Shout out to the
Yeah.
Broncos handling business. You know what I'm saying? Um, who else?
Nice.
Commanders. Commanders was another plus money that I liked. Jaden Daniels coming back to Cali. He from out here, so I had a feeling he was going to show out. Plus, I think those injuries are going
That's
to
what's
start.
up, bro.
They're going to start adding up for the Chargers too. But yeah, we almost clean house today. If Jackson Dart would have showed out, two with a 2-0, me, you know what I'm saying? We'd have been we'd
Right.
been
Hibachi on you.
solid
Right.
today.
Hibachi on you
No,
next
for
time.
sure, really.
Shoot,
It
that's
was it was
awesome.
gonna be it was gonna be a good one, man. But you win some, you lose some.
That's
You
awesome.
don't win them all. You know, I tell people all the time. Especially doing the parlay thing. If I had $1 for every time that I was one short of getting the whole thing. Whether it be five out
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
six, 6 out of 7, 4 out of 5, 3 out, whatever it is. So um, it is
Well,
what it
look,
is.
we're gonna definitely try to. We definitely gonna get into the parlays. We're definitely trying to, eventually grow this thing into a place where we can get some sponsors. So we always look at do sponsors with any type of casinos or sports books. And then, like
Sure.
I said, anyone in the comments, if you got a parlay, you can share that. We will have parlays on our next episodes. We will be covering some NBA because that's what I care about. And fire John Harbaugh, man. We're gonna sign off on this joint. I'm BJR. BZ off script season 2, bro. We in the building.
In the building,
And we're
man. I
trying to get the
told you.
audio right. We bag
Listen,
under our eyes because we've been trying to do this audio. We've been working hard, hard, hard to try to get this thing locked in, and I'm
but
feeling
we
really good about it.
we getting our feet wet
Is it
though.
live?
We getting our feet wet. We getting our feet wet. And I'm a Cancer, so once I get my feet wet, it's a wrap after that. Tsunami. After that, then we get
That's a
fully
fact.
entrenched. And we ride the wave, man.
We're
So
locked in.
yep. It's definitely looking crisp though. Hopefully y'all liking the skins, y'all liking the payout or the layout rather, and we're gonna keep cutting in and out and stuff like that, trying to make it look all nice and fancy for y'all, as it should, man. But yeah, hopefully the next time we get on here, we're talking about a new coach for the Ravens, for real.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I mean that. And I feel
That's
like if
it.
if, if that's the case, and I already said this, you asked me is the season over with. I don't believe that. I believe if we make the changes that we can make right now and should make right now, there is more than enough games left on this schedule. And we still do have more than enough talent to win more than we lose and make the dance. And once you make the dance, it's anybody's ball game then.
That's a
I've
fact.
I've seen some regular ass teams get into the Super Bowl, bro. So Matt Hasselbeck, nigga, like I'm Jake Delhomme, nigga. It's like I say, don't tell me Lamar Jackson if he get in that dance
Yo, said,
can't skate
yo
three in a
said
row.
Jake DeLone.
I'm just saying, nigga. I'm just saying.
Trent Dilfer.
No,
Yeah.
Well, hold
That's
on,
the
Trent.
fact. Trent
We
Dilfer,
you gotta take Trent Dilfer out of there. He had that. He had a defense Lamar ain't showing up to the playoffs with. So
Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer didn't have to do much. Okay, Lamar got to do a little
We
bit
gotta
more
do
than
that. That's
Trent.
we're gonna do the list. We're gonna do like the top 10 best worst quarterbacks, like QBs that was like you can't say that they bad, but they go be like you gonna be like
Like
nah.
regular
like
niggas,
the Hasselback,
like
the
just normal
Hasselback
niggas.
is on there. The
Yeah.
Hasselback, Mark Sanchez. Oh, what? Yo, did you hear about what happened to your man?
Yeah, so
He's
apparently,
wild.
this is something that I, again, you know where I live at. This is something that I have a little bit of knowledge on, but apparently, bro he like to turn up,
Oh, he maxed in.
and so apparently, yeah, he was turned up, and he kind of was pressing the issue on bro, and bro wasn't having it,
Oh, it's a dude. Yeah, with all that. Man,
because he ended up getting charges.
I think I read about that, but I was just in the middle of doing so much. I
Yeah,
was
even
like,
though he
dang.
was,
But
even
he
though he
about
was
to
the one
turn
in the
up.
hospital, even though he was the one in the hospital, he was the one actually that
He
was
about to get
criminally
charged.
charged. Yeah. So
Oh,
once
that's
you
the
once you
worst.
once you read that, you got to be like, wait, what? And then if you read deeper into it, you're like, oh, this nigga tripping. You got your head. So he was messing with somebody who wasn't to be played with. That's pretty
Hey,
much how it go.
last question before we sign on. What was he drinking, bro?
What was he drinking?
What's the drink that gets you? What's the drink that gets you fucked up and gets you the charges?
He probably had
Tequila
some whiskey. Nah, he probably had some whiskey in him, bro.
at 42.
Yeah,
He
he
was
had some
42.
whiskey. Nah, I think he had some whiskey in him. I think
Jack
he had some.
Daniels.
I think he had some whiskey in him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a Jack Daniels. Like,
I know he's a
that's a
Sanchez.
damn gin.
I know he's a Sanchez, so you might think like, oh, he probably has some kid. Nah, he probably was on some of that whiskey brown, maybe even some bourbon for real.
Knocking him
And
back.
yep,
Damn, man. Prayers up to Mark
said he
Sanchez and
seen dude
anybody else
parked
going through
said he seen dude parked on the side of the street, so he went over and pressed him like, tell you you're not supposed to be parked there. I'm about to call the something. Try to like push him out the way and all this other shit.
it. Oh, like Karen
Just,
the nigga.
just being aggressive. He was just being belligerent drunk. You know how drunks are, man. You know. They all walking. They
Damn.
probably half of them in Fat Hill still right now screaming fire Harbaugh. You know, I know you
It
seen
wasn't too crazy out
what
there
was the white
today.
dude with the Lamar jersey running around punching niggas in the face after we played?
Oh yeah, he was wild.
Yeah, he was probably same type
Yeah, it was
shit,
after the DC game. Yeah, after DC last
same
week.
type
Yeah,
shit. Nigga just thinking he immortal,
yeah,
drunk,
yeah,
thinking he can do whatever he want to do, and met the right nigga. Got
yeah.
poked
He
up.
still should be in jail.
Yep.
Damn, man. Well, look,
So
bro. Season
season
two. We
two,
love
F one.
y'all. We love the people. I love you, bro. I'm gonna get at you later.
Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I gotta get used to saying that, so I'm gonna sign off with it every time now, and I'm gonna pop it off with it next time too. Twice an episode. Make sure I tell y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Make sure because sometimes it's gonna be scheduled, but sometimes we might like if Harbaugh get fired in the middle of the day, I'm going live
Oh
because
yeah,
I'm gonna
we
say
listen.
I told because I'm gonna say I told you. I'm gonna say I told you.
We got
So
to do a
you
tally. Let's do a tally. Like I'm saying, we got to like. It's a few things we got to do. We got to do a tally. If we get something right
okay?
beforehand, let's document it and then see. All right, that's one. If we get like five, we get 10. We
We
just
get like
gotta do.
5%.
What?
All right.
That's kind.
No, that's
Then
lit.
we gotta do
I like
something.
that.
If we
I
get
like that.
if we get a certain number of them, we get to five. We get to
All
10.
right.
We do
Since
something
we just
crazy.
did a
That's
couple
all
of
we
them
do.
today, I'm gonna throw another one before I forget about it that I want to put on this episode for recording purposes. This LeBron last year. This it.
That's not a surprise. I'll talk to you about that later, bro.
This the last one, and he going
You're
out
not about to
with a
rage bait me.
bang. Lakers in six,
All
man.
right.
Lakers in six of them. Might even be four. Never know.
You're not gonna rage bait me into that, man. I'm going to sleep.
Nah, I'm ready. I'm ready for the basketball season. It's gonna be crazy this year. All right. Good night, man. I gotta go. I gotta go check on my baby, man. It's still a little bit early here on the West Coast, so I'm gonna get back outside and move around a little bit. But you take care
Yes,
over there
sir.
on the East, and I'll tap in with you later, bro. I love you, and appreciate
One,
y'all
one,
checking
love,
us out,
love.
man. The Shirley, we out.
Peace.